Okay, hi guys. So this is Bush again. This is not all you can do in the editing. That's not it. The music hacking is not it. Here's a really cool thing you can do. I'm going to show you how to import NSBMD models from Donkey Kong Jungle Climber, and I'll also get into Mario Kart DS as well. But first I'm going to do Donkey Kong Jungle Climber. It's pretty much the same. Actually, Mario Kart DS, I think that'll be better. It'll be much better. It's kind of the same thing, except you have to do one extra step in Mario Kart DS. Anyway, we go to Mario Kart. Well, actually, I want to go to Tutorial. Navigate to our Mario NSBMD models. No, I want to go to NSBMD. And I didn't put it in, I should have put it in the Mario Kart DS Europe. Okay. Okay, first of all, we just opened up our Mario Kart DS ROM. Navigate to that. Go to Data, Course, and open up one of these courses. And I'm going to figure which one I want to open. I'm going to go to, like, Town Course. I'm going to go to Town Course. So you just double-click on it, and then look at this. So as you can see, it's completely white. Here, I'll show you how to get to that in just a second. So you got to export this NSBMD model. I'm going to go to Town Course. Navigate to Town Course. Course model. Oh no, I actually don't want to put it in Town Course. Course model. What course model is that going to be? I'm just going to have to use it in Town Course. What course model? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, I gotta figure this one out. 6, 7, 8, 9. It's course model 29. I'm gonna call it course model 29.nsbmd. Now let's open up our now let's reopen up our ROM, because there's the only way to get, as you can see, there's no way to get back. The only way to actually do it is to reopen your Mario Kart DS Europe ROM and navigate back to your course. Now this time, you're not gonna go into Town Course. You're gonna go into Town Course text, or whatever texture file. And now you can see these NSBTX files. These have the textures. This is what contains the textures. So you want to right-click, export, course model 29. I'm gonna call it that. NSBTX. And then you can go to Tools, Nitro System, NSBMD, and then you can go combine the NSBMD and NSBTX file to create a textured NSBMD file. So let's go to course model. Let me show you guys that. Tools, Nitro System, NSBMD, this button right there, okay, and navigate your NSBMD model and also the NSBTX file you just exported. And I'm going to call it course model 29 final. And then let's go to NSBMD. Okay, so save that. Should be able to open correctly. It should be able to open correctly. Let's see. Okay, now as you can see, this is textured. Okay, as you can see, this is now textured. Okay? Now what you want to do is, if you want to import it into the Mario 64DS editor, you got to say export model obj. But you're not going to just import this obj just yet. Town Course, I'm going to call it town course.obj. Now, when it says export textures, you want the image format to be PNG. Do not do those two formats. Use it as PNG. Okay? Now I can close out of there, unless you want to import more models in there. Now, let me go back to navigate to my NSBMD, or Town Course. Let's go to NSBMD. Let me go to this. Put this NSBMD folder in there. Put this NSBMD folder in the tutorial, so you guys can figure out NSBMD. There. Okay, so now I'll go back to Town Course. Well, actually, technically, you want to have Blender. So you guys want to have Blender. You gotta have Blender installed. Open up Blender. Okay? Okay, so you click anywhere outside of this. Okay, so you press A twice. Once to deselect everything, and twice to select everything. Press A twice to do that. Okay? Now we can say delete all this stuff. Yes, we want to delete it. Now we can say File, Import, Wavefront OBJ. You navigate to your OBJ file, Tutorial, NSBMD, go Town Course.obj. Now let's see, it looks way too big. We can scale that later in the DS editor, trust me, we'll be able to scale that in the editor. But as you can see, this Town Course is just fine. Now I want to go to File, Export, DAE file. We want a collada. That's what SketchUp reads. Trust me, that is what SketchUp reads. That's the only kind of... If you want to import it into SketchUp, you have to use a DAE file now. towncourse.dae, export collada. Now, we'll give you this. You just export it, so you don't really need to do that. And now go to SketchUp 8 that you exported and used God of Seven's license key. Now, let's erase this, as usual. Okay. So anyway, erase that. Let me show you that. Erase. Right click. Say erase. File. Well, wait. We want to save this as town course. .skp. File. Import. Now, if it says like all supported image types and you try to import your DAE file, it's not going to work. Click on this to expand it. Go to this. Make sure to select Google Earth Collada files. Okay. So let's see what happens. Where is it? Looks like it's where towncourse.dae. If you try to open it, it'll give you this error, but say yes. Do you want to continue? Yes, we do want to continue. And as you can see, it's not really a problem anymore. It's not really a problem. It's not going to be a problem. Okay? As you can tell. Now, the next thing you want to do is export this model. Now, okay, so by the way, if I didn't already tell you guys, any info, this is a front face. That's a front face right there. Okay, that applies to everything. Trust me, that applies to everything. Okay? So that means you want to go to Plugins OBJ Exporter as usual. Uncheck that. Keep that checked. But this time, instead of saying export back faces, you want to say export front faces. Let's put it in town course final. Let me say town course final. Town course final, so I don't need to replace the file. Now, let me navigate to where you want to save your file to. In my case, I'm going to put it in tutorial. Tutorial, let's go to NSBMD regular. Town course. Town course final.obj. Town course final. Save that. Then export the OBJ file. Perfect. And it might ask you whether you want to save changes. You do want to save changes. Now, we shouldn't have to go through the process of trying to re-export the textures, although there is one thing we need to do. We need to make these textures smaller. So, I mean, I have Paint.net now. You want to make these much smaller, quite a bit smaller. So, I'm going to go to 32, save them. Let me show you how I did that. Image, resize, 32 by 16, save it, Control S, okay, hit OK, saves it. Now, I'm going to do that for everything else. So I'll show you guys when I got that done. Hi guys, okay, so now that I've got these textures at the right size, at least most of them, you go to the editor, open your ROM. We're going to open your ROM now. Let's go to tutorial, go to the tutorial ROM. Let's just navigate to the model you want to replace. I recommend Bob on Battlefield. It's the best model to replace. 3D model, import level model, load external model like the regular way. Let's go to NSBMD and navigate to your OBJ file, and it should work. If it gives you that warning about the textures or more. Now, as you can see, it's like way too big. I like to scale it down to 0.05. Is that big? That's good enough. Okay, you see that scale? Oh wait, first of all, I wanna. There's one thing. Remember, uncheck this. Uncheck that. Trust me, you want to do that. That's even though it says strongly recommended, I don't see how that's really gonna help. Trust me, that does not work. Now, as you can see, this model is imported. I'm also gonna look at the collision map. I'm also gonna import the collision map. We don't need to mess with the collision types. I'm not gonna really do that. I don't really need. Well, I'll probably maybe eventually, but I'm actually gonna assign these to different collision types. I don't want to have to re-import. Wait, one. Re-import. Let me reload the external model. Go to model.bmd. Wait. Let me load external model. Let me just make sure this works. Now we can go to 0.5. Let's go to the collision map. So assign all these collision types. I advised against doing this. I strongly recommend you do this. You assign every texture different collision types. I strongly recommend it. If you're a beginner at this, just assign every texture different collision types. It's the easiest way to go. Okay, after you assigned all these collision types, but trust me, you don't scale it until after, as you might have seen earlier. Scale it after. Scale it after you assign the collision types. It's very important. Trust me on that. Now you can say import model and collision map. Now you're going to see this. You're going to see that there are a lot of objects out here. We can just remove all the objects simply. Also remove all the paths. Now if you try to remove all the warps, like I said earlier, if you remove all of them, to add an entrance, The entrance is gonna be like right at the track, at the start of the track. Okay. Well, now that you've got that imported into the game, and you've got this, time to test it out. I mean, it really should work. I don't really need to go through the testing out. Okay, I'll see you guys later.